Is love painful? Yes, it's painful. Are we still going to put ourselves out there? Yes, we're going to put ourselves out there. Are we going to fail? Yes, we're going to fail. Are we going to get our hearts stomped on? Yes, we're going to get it stomped on. But are we going to get up and go out there again?
Yes, and
you
listen to
bet we're going to get out there again.
Listen to Lizzo. All right, ladies, let's get information. Come on. Ow. Hello and welcome, or should I say welcome back to the dhamakedar new episode of Tinder Swipe Right, a truly one-of-a-kind show where we give the freshest and the coolest advice to girls right before they're about to meet their potential partner, or friend with benefits, or colleague, or acquaintance. And it's a wild ride, beheno. Jo karna hai karo. It's a judgment-free zone. And today I'm going to meet someone who's going to agree with me on this 100%. We're going to meet the coolest, the uninhibited, the fierce, the fabulous, the amazing, the bold Pooja Bhatt!
Ta-da!
Oh man, we needed your energy on the show.
No ifs, no buts, only Pooja Bhatt.
She just said it. You know, your voice just fills up the car. Truly, like it's like a honey lemon tea on a cold winter Delhi morning.
That is very kind of you, and I'm going to take that as a compliment because when I began my career as a 17-year-old, there was much discussion about whether they should retain my voice or get it redubbed by somebody who sounds more feminine.
Oh my God.
And then my father said to my sound recordist, who agreed obviously, that either people accept her the way she is or they reject her for what she is. And I think that is something that I've used for the rest of my life, is that take it or leave it.
I think that's a life rule we should follow, 100%. Oh, like I cannot believe a woman's voice is sometimes too much for people. Unbelievable. But you're not too much for us. You're just perfect for us, and we love you.
I think I should be hanging with you more often. You're really, really good for my flailing ego in that sense.
It's not just me, it's everybody who's watching it. They have the exact same thoughts, and I have no qualms about it.
Kisses to everyone who's watching, and salutations, and I'm so delighted to be in this non-judgment zone that you've created, but I think the world needs more of that, far more of that.
So today we're going to be meeting Nidhi. Let me just read out her bio to you, okay? Her bio says, recent discovery, I'm emotionally unavailable, but very much down to cracking questionable jokes over drinks. Here's one. What should have been my ex's name? Rahul. Because Rahul is a cheater, he is a cheater.
Well, my only advice to her would be that, just drop him from your bio because we need not carry baggage forward. I think it's important to travel light. The smart ones kind of downgrade with regards to excess baggage. So drop Rahul is what I would tell Nidhi.
I never thought I'll hear the words travel light with respect to dating. Drop the baggage. I think that's fantastic. But please here look at the pictures, okay, of Miss Nidhi. Okay, here. ये है हमारी सुशील निधि, कभी सनकिस निधि, कभी सेक्सी निधि, कभी संस्कारी निधि. And oh my God, this woman is coming. Hi. That's her. Hi, how is it going?
How are you? You look so vibrant.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
No, I'm hoping that I don't have that reaction. I mean, that response on everybody I meet. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Pooja.
I know that. I mean, I don't think you ever have a life situation where you're like, you don't know.
No, I always introduce myself to people because I do not. I think it's very presumptuous to assume that people will know your name or know who you are.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant.
While this is happening, I'm just going to start driving because this is going to take a while because Nidhi's breathing has changed. Let's talk about who are you meeting?
I am meeting this guy called Arjun.
Arjun?
He's I also swipe right on him because of his name, because I find the name Arjun quite sexy. I know it's like I shouldn't, but like I find it sexy. It's like one of those, like you have to date a Karan. Like for me, that is like you have to date an Arjun.
Oh.
Well, interestingly, I've never dated a Karan or an Arjun.
Yeah.
It's quite fun. I mean, he seems very nice. Like his bio said, I'm a bad boy, I'm bad at everything, and then I obviously swipe right to tell him that joke sucks and how I can make that joke better. And he roasted me back and he made fun of me and he complimented me at the same time. So I was like, cool, okay, let's give this a try.
So you like the deprecating humor, that so that you don't have to do the self-deprecation, he can do it for you.
Yeah, I like, it's very turning on for me when guys roast me. I'm like, on my birthday, I actually had my best friend do a 5-minute roast for me. That's how I function. I have daddy issues. Is it okay to say that anyhow?
ये मतलब कैसी self-esteem लेके चल रहे हो मैम?
मेरी self-esteem बहुत high है. बस aware है issues के. I think I'm a goddess. I'm a Beyonce song.
Oh. मैं थोड़ा सा भोजपुरी song हूँ with a little bit of Punjabi actually. What song are you, Miss P?
What song am I?
Yeah.
Well, I think a combination of hip hop and baroque and some good old-fashioned 90s Hindi Bollywood melodies.
As
Watch you
expected.
talk. Like, can you do an ASMR video?
Literally the same.
Like, I could just watch it and feel calm, like, over a glass of wine. Yeah, like, this feels good.
So Nidhi, tell us about this boy. We're all wanting to know.
He is simple investment banker type person.
Is there anything like a simple investment banker?
Yeah, they're very simple.
So the thing is, I'm a comedian and I've dated a lot of comedians myself. So now I've realized how that's a huge mistake. So I've moved to like, maybe bankers can be, but they can't be funny. So that's where I come in. So I'm like, haha, I'm funnier than you. With
Nice.
a comedian, it's always like, no, I'm funny. No, I'm funny. It's just
मैं काफी नापा तोला dating कर रहे हैं आप basically.
yeah.
Nice. I like that.
हाँ, so मुझे ना ऐसे ही chill करने के लिए पसंद है लड़के. मुझे कुछ करना नहीं है. Like I don't want a relationship or anything.
Wow.
I just like to collect experiences and memories and everything. That's why I'm dating right now.
Ma'am, are you a photo album?
Am I a photo album? Wow, you roasted me.
No, but I think she's spot on because at the end of the day, that's all we're doing with our lives. I mean, all it is just we're
Yeah.
like these rag pickers who go around kind of picking and filling up, bags with memories. And that's all we are at the end of the day. So you might as well go out and make some good
Exactly.
ones. And is love painful? Yes, it's painful. Are we still going to put ourselves out there? Yes, we're going to put ourselves out there. Are we going to fail? Yes, we're going to fail. Are we going to get our hearts stomped on? Yes, we're going to get it stomped on. But are we going to get up and go out there again?
Yes, and
you
listen to
bet we're going to get out there again.
Listen to
All
Lizzo.
right, ladies, let's get information. Come on.
Actually, मेरे को अभी लोग बोल रहे हैं कि I just turned 26, so there's a lot of pressure from my family to
get married?
Yeah, to start looking and everything, and I don't see that as an agenda. By now, if you met me like a year ago, I would have had like this whole plan, vision board of a marriage. But right now, that's like that fear of 30s is gone. That I won't have anyone by 30s. That is gone.
So now we know your type. What's your type, Miss B? Like,
Yes.
who would you
Very interested.
like? If let's say if you were on Tinder, and are you on Tinder?
I'm too tender to be on Tinder.
I'm too tender to be on Tinder.
I couldn't resist that terrible joke. No, but the point is that, if I were to be on Tinder, then I think my bio would read, Dil ab bhi nahi manta. Yes, it is me, par dil ab bhi nahi manta.
क्या सर्वगुण संपन्न bio है? I would like to say that.
Yeah.
But I have to Nidhi just mentioned she's 26.
Yeah.
Which is obviously you have lots of time before you want to get married, or you want to get married at 26. Do whatever you want to do. Who am I to
You
judge
mentioned
that?
earlier that that I'm not going to be alone at 30. I'm like, I hope you're alone at 30 because 30 is the most dreary age
Yeah, I want to be
in more
alone
ways
at
than
30
one.
and I want to learn my way through 30s actually. My brother told me that 30 is just like your 20s but with money.
Exactly.
Well, if you're lucky, and also I think you're getting over the shock of being
Yeah.
thrown into the 30
Absolutely.
pool.
Yeah.
So it takes you a few years to kind of find your feet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then you kind of start coming into your own. By the time you hit 40, then you're unstoppable.
That is true. I mean, I agree with you on the lucky bit. A lot of times, you could be doing a certain thing all your 20s and your late 20s, and you realize, okay, maybe this is not what I want to do. So then 30 again becomes the time when you start discovering yourself all over again. I changed my career at the age of 28, 29, and 30s has been a wild ride for me. So I hope for your sake that even if you are with somebody or not with somebody, you're still having all of those wholesome experiences that you want for yourself. So yeah, I hope that happens for you. But Miss P, at 26, what was your type? And now, the age that you're at, what is your type? What has changed?
Well, God bless all the
Great
men who I have
question.
known, because I think that I've taken something from each one. And I think that there have been people who've introduced me to such wonderful music and such wonderful
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah.
And I think that I especially want to thank the people who broke my heart and stomped all over it. Because when you look back in hindsight, and what you think is a box of darkness somebody's handed you actually turns out to be the most massive gift you could receive, because that's what kind of some way reintroduces you to yourself
Yeah.
and makes you realize that, you know what, just because you don't want me anymore or you don't desire me anymore doesn't mean that I'm undesirable.
Yeah, I am just now learning to deal with rejection actually. Like everything you said was very poetic, but I'm petty. And I'm just like, तूने मेरा दिल तोड़ा. तेरे को काटने चाहिए मच्छर रात को. मतलब मैं उतना ही level जाती हूँ, ज़्यादा नहीं. But I agree. Rejection is something that people don't talk about because it's an icky feeling, right? Like someone doesn't like you back. So
Yeah.
it hurts. And like my best friend was going through a heartbreak where this girl didn't feel the same way for him when he matched with her on Tinder. And he felt so sad, and people don't talk about how when you put yourself out there a lot, you also get rejected a lot. It's
No,
all part
absolutely.
of the
Which is why,
process.
frankly speaking, when people kind of, write off a dating app like Tinder as
Yeah.
being flippant, my point is always, it takes a lot of courage
Yeah.
It
to put yourself
does.
out there and to kind of be, this whole swipe left and right. I mean, it can do terrible things to your ego,
Yeah.
or it can actually elevate you to a kind of a situation where you probably don't need to be elevated, but it takes a lot of courage, which is what,
Yeah.
it's very easy to sit in the audience and mock somebody who's on stage,
Yeah.
but which is why only 10% of the world actually become performers. So I think that to all of you people who actually put your
Yeah.
hearts and yourselves out there, more power to y'all. It takes courage and it takes nerves of steel,
Thank you so
But Miss P, I would like to tell you that you've not answered my question.
which is what's my type.
Yes.
Well, my type has evolved. I would like to use the word evolved as opposed to changed and not aged. But I think I don't really have a type in that sense. But when I was younger, in my 20s, no regrets. No regrets ever for a full life. But I had this capacity to be able to walk into a room with 100 men, for example, and there would be 99 perfectly functional human beings, and there would be one rat hiding under the table, and my zoning device would take me
Yeah.
straight to that
Same.
and say,
I'm
"Hey,
also
baby,
like, yeah.
let me try and fix you."
Yeah,
Of course.
You know what I mean?
20s as a woman just
Yeah.
goes through fixing men.
But then
Ma'am,
you
you're
forget that actually that you don't need to. You need to fix yourself. I mean, and the answer does not
girl,
lie there. You know.
Fix yourself. Fix
Oh my
yourself.
God, both of you are walking, talking Imtiaz Ali movie. I love it.
So I think now for me it's kind of first of all, it's an exciting phase in my life. I'm single, enjoying single blessedness,
Love
and
it
I'm
for
not
you.
looking. But I think that at the same time, I don't have the shutters down, and I
Yeah.
think that love is life.
Yeah.
And life is love, and what is the point of existing if it weren't for that? But I think the only six-pack I'm interested in lies between a man's 2 ears, and you need to turn my mind on. You need to be able to kind of seduce my brain cells.
Oh man, Miss P, you're such a joy. And every word just hits different and it falls different on my ears. My major takeaway is love is life. Life is love.
What are your love languages?
When you can actually share a silence that is not uncomfortable with somebody.
Aww.
And for me, that's for me, when you talk about communication, for me, the fact that if you can just be with somebody and not necessarily have to fill that empty space with words or small talk,
Yeah, that's
then you
quite
know
nice.
that's
Basically,
that's a love
communication
language.
is a green flag for you.
Communication certainly is, but as a communication without actually having to put it into words. And I think
Yeah.
that what is unsaid is actually so much more exciting. What is unseen is sometimes more exciting. Anticipation. She's an anticipation of this date.
I feel
you know?
like I live for the banter when it comes to dating. Whenever I right swipe a man on Tinder and then I meet him and everything, it's the banter, it's the back and forth, it's the flirting, it's the hair
repartee,
twirling,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
little things. And right now, actually, we're going to like one of my favorite cafes.
Where is it?
because I like to set a vibe for my dates, and I actually give my dates I actually have a thank you note for him right
Oh, that's
here.
so
Already?
Yeah,
But what
he's
if...
gonna turn out nice. I know that.
I like
That's so
that.
sweet. May I see
like
that if you don't mind?
Yes.
Thanks a bunch, it says.
But do you also
I
give
put the
flowers
light
to
on
your
it.
dates?
I do.
It has come up in our research.
I do. I gave this guy a flower and he said he felt like a Disney princess.
Oh, we all want to feel like a Disney princess sometimes.
No, and I think this is wonderful because I think that, one thing men don't get enough of is that we need to kind of sometimes woo them as well. We need to kind of send them
Agreed.
flowers and send them chocolates and kind of... They'll
Agreed.
pretend like they don't like it, but they love it. So
Oh,
this one is a
obviously they
rare
love
one
it.
for saying that you made me feel like a princess. Well,
But I've realized in my experience of dating, I am like very honest about everything. So I also ask the guy like if you're comfortable and if you're uncomfortable, just tell me. And for them, like this one guy, 2-3 guys have told me that no one has ever asked me if I'm comfortable.
Yeah, so you almost like you seek their consent, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And
no,
I think,
or you presume that they are comfortable.
Yeah, you just assume
know?
they're comfortable, and oh my god, consent is so sexy. If this guy asks me, should I kiss you? It's like the oof, udhar hi ho gaya iska niche ka.
So I hope all you young men out there are listening.
What
Ask, and you shall receive.
Always ask. It's
with
so
joy.
sexy and so turning on. Oh my god.
Talking about
Is-
consent, I have
is-
to tell you all this anecdote. I'm sorry to jump in with
No,
little
please,
filmy
we want to
tidbits,
know
but
your, like, 2
I
cents
made a
on
movie
consent.
called Jism with
Yeah.
Bipasha Basu where we launched the gorgeous John Abraham and I
Yeah.
was actually directing the love scenes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I went to actually explain to them what was required. And I'm telling Bipasha, I said, this is what we have to do, no. But if you're not comfortable, and John just looked at me and said, excuse me, does somebody mind asking me whether I am comfortable doing this?
Yeah.
And that, for me, that was like somebody threw a bucket of cold water on me. And I said, how presumptuous of us women
Yeah.
to think
Agreed.
that it's only the woman who's awkward in an
Agreed.
intimate situation.
Agreed.
The poor guy.
Agreed.
So
obviously, like, you're also
so we
really-
empathize for you men, I mean, we might be
Yeah.
feminists and all that, but we empathize,
Yeah,
okay?
we empathize.
And we love men, so there's no problem.
I think both parties shouldn't assume and both parties should ask for consent. So I understand that in dating, it should be equal. I agree, but as you see,
That's
our
a
genders
fallacy.
are not only
That's
equal.
a fallacy. There is no
Yeah.
equality.
Yeah,
There is never equality. It is always one person who tries to give the illusion that the other one is kind of
Exactly.
playing the equality game, but there is no equality.
Yeah, I like being perceived by men as like, she's got this, like that.
No, but also our starting lines are not the same. Men have grown up thinking that
Men
they
have grown
are-
up, really? That's nice to know.
Oh,
I didn't get that memo.
I didn't want
Maybe
to
I
be
should
the
be
one
out
to
there.
say.
Maybe I should be out on Tinder now.
I didn't want to be the one
They've
to
grown
say.
up, have they, in the last few
No,
decades? That's
but-
good to know.
I love her. She's my new best friend.
in our minds, like she's my bestie also. But yeah, when you say that you want to be more equal, but like everything comes in play: patriarchy, conditioning,
Yeah, there's
how
so
men
much.
perceive dating, what men
There's-
think their position should be when they're dating, and there's a lot of unlearning to do, not only for us, it's for men also.
Yeah,
Which also
I-
brings me to the question: when is it okay to talk about your mental health?
Like I have borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
And I have OCD and like major depression. All of it, just all of it. Sorry. But like I said, I like to
cocktail.
crack jokes about it.
No, but depression is an old friend of
But,
all of us.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
an old friend. So I like to tell them beforehand because they've had experiences with their exes. It always turns out which was bad for them. So I always tell them that this is the case. If this is a red flag for you, you tell me now. So I'll go my way, you go my way, and usually it's never a red flag and everything. So I don't tell them all my issues. I'm just like, ये mental illness है. Sometimes, and if it gets serious, then I tell them sometimes I'll need you more than ordinarily. Are you ready for that? So that conversation I haven't had.
You're a brave girl.
Wow.
And
did
the
you just
fact is that she has got the audacity to walk into a room and get naked emotionally, then baby, you'll be fearless in a swimsuit, I can assure you.
more power.
Or whatever you
Man,
choose
what
to
are
wear or
these
not wear.
metaphors you
Yeah, it's
have?
amazing. And I think it's lovely to lay out all the cards on the table, right? Like,
Yeah.
let them know what they're getting into. Okay, so now we're going to play a game. It's a really unique game, okay? And it's something that's very original, very innovative. The first word that comes to your mind when I say this word.
All right.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Okay. Should we start?
Yes.
Okay. The first word is Bollywood.
Hero.
Circus.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. Okay.
I was a
next one.
trapeze artist. I sneezed.
Well, love it. Love this. This is.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Turn on.
Kindness, grace, sense of humor, that glint in somebody's eyes when they look at you from across the room. Turn on.
Yeah. These are like 5 different men.
The
Easily.
5
Or maybe 10, you know.
Or maybe 10.
the 2 minutes before and after he kisses me. The
Aww.
interval. That's the.
The anticipation.
The anticipation.
Nice.
And even after he kisses me, there's a silent moment.
So she's talking about pleasure in anticipation and then in memory.
Oof, it's lovely.
It's layered, am I right?
You're right here. You truly live up to that. Fetish.
Explore. I have to still explore.
Explore.
Leather, masks, and high heels. Yes.
Next, therapy.
You know, when you have the courage, or not courage, or you have the capacity to be able to bleed openly,
Yeah.
I've always aired my pain.
Yeah.
I've always, I've never kind of internalized it in that sense. I've kind of, you know, if I'm feeling terrible, if I'm feeling down and out, if I'm feeling depressive, I've had suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
I've looked at the ocean and wondered that, you know, what would be lost to mankind if I just walk into the ocean and never come out. And then my dad, I remember once, many years ago, told me, he said, you remember Humpty Dumpty, the poem?
Yeah.
So I said, yes. So he said, well, when Humpty Dumpty falls off the wall, it's not his problem to put himself together again. All the king's horses and all the king's men will do that.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I just live my life like that, where I just allow myself to fall apart. And then life puts me back together. And then I fall
sometimes
apart.
You do have some
And then I put myself
few
together.
people who also help you put yourself back together.
Yeah, but you have to help
You have
yourself.
to first help yourself and then they
And yes,
also
of course, I'm
come
very
and then-
blessed to have people in my life who
Yeah.
don't judge me for that falling apart and don't
Yeah,
expect me to
yeah.
constantly have all the answers or whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
so I think our brokenness, our frailties, are kind of what we are told by society that, you know, hide that away, gloss it over, cover it up. That is what we actually are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's to celebrating frailties and showing each other our scars
Yes.
and kind of being bare and naked emotionally.
Metaphorical drink cheers.
Cheers!
Can I run your Instagram page called Poojitive affirmations?
It's yours. You can take it and copyright it also.
Yeah, it's Poojitive thoughts or Poojitive
Poojitive
affirmations. We're still figuring out the name, but I'm running it and I have the patent.
Yes.
We learned that brokenness is beautiful
Brokenness.
and falling is inevitable.
Yes.
And be naked.
Falling is
Internally and-
inevitable. Losing is inevitable. Getting your heart stomped on is inevitable.
But we're still gonna love.
Physically कटने वाला तो है ही तो डालना अपने आप को
देखो मरना तो है ना थोड़ा जी तो लेते हैं यार.
जी ले कटेगा
बात
जी
तो वही
ले
है.
यार
Yeah.
What is happening? Oh my god! The emotions in this car are intense, and I can feel the palpable emotions. I love it. We have reached the destination.
Yes.
Arjun के पास जाना तो पड़ेगा.
जाना तो पड़ेगा.
And go you must because that's the
hope he
format
And
of
listen,
the
before
show.
you go, since you are so kind and you're so generous and you give carnations to your, you know, aspiring
Yes.
lovers or friends or whatever you
Yes,
want to call them,
yes.
and you give them cards, I have to give you something.
Aww.
Oh my god.
And all of these are for you. We've counted them. तो please लड़के को मत देना इसमें से एक भी.
बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
No, I'm just going to leave you with something actually that is my favorite poem by somebody called Dorothy Parker.
I know her, yes.
And it goes something like this. In youth, there was a way I had to do my best to please, to change with every passing lad, to suit his theories. But now I know the things I know and do the things I do. And if you do not like me so, to hell, my love, with you.
I'm gonna remember this when Arjun breaks my heart. That's what anyway, I don't want to keep him waiting.
You do
Bye,
you. You do you.
guys.
You have a good time.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
And sending you all the positivity in the world.
Yes, thank you.
I think I'm going to take you to some nice restaurant to eat something.
I think that's a very good plan.
Yeah.
I think food will kind of, you know, give us some instant gratification.
That is true.